According to the America Psychological Association, up to 82 people face feeling of imposter phenomenon, struggling with the sense they haven't earned what they've achieved and are a fraud. These feelings can contribute to an increased anxiety and depression, less risk taking, and career burnout. I will also add to that it can lead to a consistent amount of procrastination. And I could confidently say that because that's what I experienced when I first started having an understanding of what I wanted to do long term. You see, back in 2019, I was going through so much in life. My mind was all over the place. So I understood that in order for me to get out of that negative state of mind, I needed to engage in more positive energy. So before school, during school because I had a free period, after school, and before work and after work, I would listen to motivational speakers. I would listen to Tony Robbins. I would listen to E.T. the hip hop preacher. I used to listen to a lot of Les Brown. And me listening to all these communicators, I started to realize something about myself. Up until that point, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I realized through me listening to them, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to impact the masses with my words. That was the first time in my life that I ever had clarity of what I wanted to do long term and how I wanted to serve other people. But the thing with that is this is where the imposter syndrome kicked in. What made these guys so powerful in their storytelling abilities is their stories themselves and what they were able to accomplish and overcome. With Tony Robbins having experienced abuse for one of his parents, or Les Brown not knowing who his parents were until he was in his 70s, and being born and raised in a time of segregation when that was irrelevant, and Eric Thomas not knowing who his father was and being homeless for some time. And even with that desire, that yearning, burning fire within me to motivate the masses, to help them overcome whatever problems that they're dealing with, I realized to myself, or I kept asking myself the question, how can I be as impactful as a communicator as the guys that I respect so much? Because my upbringing was nothing like theirs. I never went through anything that was dramatic, or problematic compared to these guys. So if anybody were to analyze my life, I felt like they will perceive as if I smooth sailed throughout my whole life, as if I didn't go through anything so devastating that helped me get to a point of high success. So with me having this idea that I was going to be an up and coming motivational speaker, I knew that to get myself out there, I needed to create content. But because of that imposter syndrome of feeling like a fraud, I procrastinated for 2 years. And I had a lack of self-belief. 2 years had passed and went by where I didn't create content and I didn't put myself out there for the world to see how I can impact their lives in a positive way. And I said, you know what, man? If I go on another year of procrastinating, acting lazy, and creating all these excuses, this will be the first time in my life that I will experience regret. So evidently, with me creating this video and articulating my past, I done overcame imposter syndrome to the point where it no longer bothers me. I don't have it anymore. So what can we do to overcome those overwhelming feelings of imposter syndrome and feeling like a fraud, feeling like we don't belong? For me, I had to stop comparing myself to these guys. Just as these guys' stories are impactful and empowering, their stories are so unique. What they went through is so traumatic that a lot of people can relate to that. And I needed to realize for myself that a lot of people could relate more to what I've been through, to what my upbringing was. You see, my whole problem as to why I felt like a fraud, why I felt like I didn't belong, is because I compared myself to these greats. I allowed myself to feel inferior to them, and that didn't need to be the case. In order for me to stop feeling like a fraud, to stop feeling like I don't belong, I needed to stop comparing myself to these great men. And I needed to start recognizing the greatness within me. I have a lot to share with others, and I have plenty of energy that would allow me to impact and empower their lives for the better. Those limiting belief systems of feeling like you're a fraud and feeling like you don't belong, you have to put in the work to eradicate them. You have to recondition your mind to believe the opposite. Recognize who you are and what you got to offer, and how you can impact others, and recognizing the uniqueness about you that makes you special, that you can use to your advantage to accomplish whatever challenges that you have in your life. It ain't gonna be easy, but if you do it on a consistent basis, you will start to recognize that imposter syndrome begin to peel off like dead skin. You'll start to feel a stronger sense of empowerment, that there's something powerful within you. There's, as Les Brown would say, there's greatness within you. This is exactly what's going to help you overcome those feelings of feeling like a fraud, feeling like you don't belong, and overcoming that imposter syndrome. The time is now for you to become the person that you desire of being and achieving the results that you want out of life. And the only way that you can do it is by consistently eradicating that imposter syndrome. Thank you so much for watching this video. Matter of fact, if you watch either one of these videos, I promise you they're going to solve a problem that you have.